for concepts, like you just got to keep doing it. You just got to keep. It's like anything, you know what I'm saying? So to open your mind for it, make sure you have a whole lot of references. Make sure you have a whole lot of anything that you like. Like I like Final Fantasy. I like Square Enix before Square Enix was Square Enix, though. Squaresoft and Enix. I like both of their games. So I had a lot of influence off of them and just off of daily life. Like I'll watch the news, I'll see something cool, I'll see something, you know, like what is your favorite movies like, and what is your aim? Like if you're doing modern, it should be easy because it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like my stories are sci-fi. I love sci-fi, but I really like fantasy. Fantasy is like my biggest thing. So let me show you what I have. But like this is my editor folder. I have a lot of folders, but I mean the editor is my main fantasy folder. I have a lot of pieces here from DeviantArt, a lot of pieces you guys haven't even seen yet. So I'm working on my backgrounds at the moment, but I have a lot of character design here. I have a lot of species. I have that I've worked on for the story and for other stories too that I might have to split off. Because my mind is always and constantly working. Let me show you this right here. This is a collection of ideas that I had. None of these are legit characters, but I most likely will have them to be later because these designs are relevant. For regular citizens, well, these are obviously like upscale, but like, except for the guy in the middle. Like, first, his color, like, you gotta just think real hard. Like, get your references, like I said, Final Fantasy being one of mine. You got like the Tales series, and they're kind of modern fantasy. You got, there's many things, for fantasy. Like it's just all around. You got Lord of the Rings, for your more medieval, the look and everything. I have a sense of modern fashion with it. I took a regular shirt, and just added stuff to it. But in order to do that, you got to take, excuse me, and take and take. You got to look and take. Don't be afraid to take something. You'll use that and modify the color, do whatever you need to do. Like, what would armor look like in pieces? Like, obviously, this is, well, for me, this is a gladiator, and I took everything off because he can't afford everything. He just has the greaves, so he can block and hit. His body, whatever. He's not trying to get hit. He's kind of fast. He has like the plain shorts. He has the belt, to keep it up. But at the same time, it goes with the color scheme. It goes with this entire design. It doesn't gap off like it's not just only greaves and or greaves and like your arm braces and all that stuff. So you have to kind of just take into consideration what you want. Like the hole cutouts for the knees. Maybe that could have been for the armor. For the actual imperial soldiers of this desert city. Like this whole idea, actually, I got from it was inspired from Final Fantasy 12. That whole desert theme. I really love that theme. I just like the desert and like Egyptian culture, and like I like knights, and so I wanted to put it all together. And you come up with this dusty, you got the Persian look, I just wanted to put it all together, you know. So if, I had belts for a long time. Belts was something that I've always administered. It was ever since I saw like Guilty Gear, King of Fighters, and like there's some other. It's just belts. Belts was just the thing to look at for a while. Dragon Ball Z came out. Look at the clothes. For me, that didn't do it. It was like the action and like the level of fighting that I was intrigued by. But I mean, for this overall look, I looked at like a lot of different elements, like the pants. No, not the pants, but the right above the boots. That to me was I took it off of architectural elements. Like it just fanned out like a fan. It didn't have to have its conventional opening. I mean, I was kind of tired of getting that conventional. I wanted to do something different. And with this jacket, I like different shapes. You obviously always see the designs along the walls. You see designs and anything. It's just crazy. Everything has designs. So I was like, why don't the clothes have designs too? So I put engravings instead of actual patterns like you would see on a T-shirt. For this is for fantasy. You see, like you got your Indian sort of deal right here. I wanted a tattoo, kind of like I was looking up. Go to Google too. This will bolster this idea. This will help you maintain, like get you a bunch of references, for anything that you're trying to do for that moment. Like for futuristic elements, look into Tron. I mean, look into Minority Report. Look into games. Like it's all there. You just gotta look into Google is your best friend. Like for example, like for modern, I'm gonna touch up on the modern at the moment. So like this guy right here, I had to make up something, because I really enjoyed like hearing out my homeboy's idea. So I was like inspired to draw him a character because I knew he wasn't like inspired to do a story at the moment. So I was like, hey, let me just do something, for this guy. I know I was supposed to do something, but I mean, I wanted a ninja. What does a ninja look like? A ninja has like that overall concealing look. A ninja like for me, a ninja's either supposed to be stealth, like as in speed, or as in like like a blitzkrieg, a short little small scale blitzkrieg, or they're supposed to be they just touch you up and you don't even see them, you don't even know what happened, like those two elements. So I didn't really go for the hiding element because obviously you see like his rope and all this is kind of colorful, but I also wanted him to have that shadowy look at the same time, going back to the roots of the ninja. But he what does a ninja look like? Like I said, it has they have like a little cover over their head. Like, so why don't I modernize it a little bit more? Why don't I just make it a hoodie? I mean, it's like the same thing, right? Instead of concealing it with like a little face mask, you can just have like a whole zip up thing. I saw that it was popular. It's to get these ideas, I just went on my Google and I just typed in hoodies, and you get like a bunch of cool looking ideas, like these guys have their little face cover. Organization 13 had a little collar thing that went further up, so it covered their faces a little bit, but the hoodie helped. It just concealed everything but their eyes. I was like, that is pretty cool. Oh, that's a pretty cool little Batman design. Oh, it looks like you could also infuse armor with a hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were really to just stand that out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at this right here. It's a leather hoodie. I mean, yeah, it's like a Star Wars style, but look at this. This is not like Darth Vader's exact look. I mean, somebody just took their idea, put it, added something to it. Like, I thought this was really cool. Like just pay attention to like just little stuff like that. Keep them on your record. Like, as a matter of fact, I'll probably save this image as I'll put it in downloads for at the moment. Save that. Yeah, you got, you just keep looking around. Just there's a whole lot out there that you wouldn't even know about, like even stuff that you wouldn't even like, or if you wouldn't normally pay attention to it. This is just a hoodie by itself. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can administer that with like some more armor or something. Like, I don't even have to have a coat. You just have the hood. Just keep looking at that. Oh, that's another. I don't really know about the face. But you can take that idea and be pretty cool with it. Just keep. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, is that a glowing zipper? Like, just take these ideas. I mean, the zipper doesn't always. It could just glow, but you can have other elements to glow, like outliner of pockets, lining for the. For like your cuffs. Your cuffs itself can glow. Anything. Just make anything. That's pretty funny. But yeah, you got Oh, I like this design. It reminds me of that little graffiti or that musical. I don't remember what it was like on a handheld. It was a Square Enix game where there was a guy or there was a contest. I can't remember where I saw it on a picture related to that game, and it had this similar look on it, and I like this a lot. I could administer it myself on the clothes. Like, I'm just getting ideas just looking at that picture. Just, oh, that's cool. That's like a ninja knight. Like, oh, but that's like, oh, that's cool. That's fabric. That. Let me just save this. Like, just going on to Google helps a crap ton. Just, man, you just got to keep looking. So this is just hoodies. You can type in other things. You could type in armor. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like this animal thing. But like what you do, you don't have to have it like that. You can have where these just kind of go with the hoodie. It's like a hoodie style. Doesn't always have to be flat, and covering your face. If you're trying to do knights, you can look up knight armor and administer all this. That's pretty cool. Just keep looking around. But like chainmail. The guy has like chainmail covering his whole face, or not his whole face, but like everything but his face. It's like a cutout for his face. You can turn that into a hoodie. You just loosen it up add some zipper around it, boom, you got yourself like a modern day knight. Just keep thinking about these things. So like that is another, that's a fusion. Like you got your modern day knight. I have this what do you call these, forest ninja. I wanted them to be like you probably seen this on my DA, but you have the Aztec or the Inca, whatever, the Native American, those Central American, you got all these cultures. I wanted to infuse together into the Eastern Asian culture. Just have the you have them put together, just like how you have your modern day knight, this modern day and medieval, put together. This is like Native American and Asian. So just it's like a fusion. Just keep on doing things, like, because I know like a lot of people wear masks, to conceal themselves. Like, why shouldn't it be any different? Like, can just put them together, and they can just, that can actually be really cool. And his, this bird, actually, his skin was originally supposed to be like just, I don't know, regular colored. That's like he's not concealed. That's actually his skin. But it was inspired by his own face. Like, I inspired myself, but I'm usually always inspired by something else. But then, you just go along, you make something, and oh man, you're like, when if, what if? Like you'd go and see a movie and something is so cool, and you're like, what if this, like you see something that was so inspiring. That's what kind of guy I was like. I was just like hyped. It just, my imagination always, shot off. So I have another idea. This is, kind of modern day. Of course, you got like the coat, with the hoodie and all that stuff. But I was like, I saw that blanket, that stupid looking, you got your blanket. It was pretty cool to me. But you have that blanket with the sleeves in it. I mean, it's pointless. But I mean, I was like, well, what if you made a whole coat out of that? You can just walk outside. It's like you can sleep anywhere. You got your comforter jacket. That's what I kind of had this idea for. It was just like, this is a werewolf, whatever. But I was like, maybe he has stretchy pants, but I just wanted the fur right here to be somewhere around here, so I just kind of added a theme, a nighttime theme for him, like he's just ready to go to sleep. I don't know, it was just a design, just keep, whenever you have design, you don't have to make up a character, just light up the page full of whatever, like this is my color variations. I used to play King of Fighters, and I'll go to their specials page and see like all the what Kyo used to, like all of his possible designs, and that's what I did for this guy. I was like, that's a great idea, let me just do that. And this was back in 99, so I was like, I was pretty young doing my thing, like this was kind of old, but I mean, just saying, it wasn't that old, but these ideas stick. Get your virtual, get your memory up too, because it's like you can take these, your you already got modern day clothes down. You just, what to do. You know how to draw a hoodie. You know how to, it's up to you now to just fuse everything that you've known, like, together. Start with modern day, just fuse whatever together that they already got out. So you just like one pieces. Look at trash men. They got like the one suit, one piece, the freaking excuse me, the jumpsuit. I've always liked the jumpsuit. That's just something that I've always, excuse me, like to see. So, another design, like, for him, like, I got this sheeple thing going on, as you guys know. But, like, I just like how they look. It's just like one of those anthro things that I like, so, those, I have, this guy, like, he was supposed to be a part of that community. He was a human. I always like culture. I always like different things, seeing different things. So he was definitely, there's no pure sheeple whole culture, like, just you have a mix in there. So I was like, I'm gonna throw this guy in there. It's probably gonna be like the witch doctor or something. His wife is a sheeple, whatever, but here's a coat, it's sheeple, whatever. They don't have sheep in their world, it's just sheeple. So you just got that leather. I was thinking real hard, but I was also looking up like designs, patterns that you'd see on the wall. Like, why don't I just put this on fabric? I mean, it's no different. Like whatever you can emulate on stone, you could pretty much make the design. You can draw the design down. You got your hair, you got your, like I had to put the jade. Like the jade is like something that Native Americans, like, especially like Aztec, Incas, or whoever. Like I don't have that kind of memory. I just have to look back and see what it actually originated from. But yeah, that's jade was one of the big ones, one of the big things that they had. and it identified their culture, and I wanted to administer that. I wanted you to know where got this from, and then for my story, I wanted there, since there was so many like takeovers. The sheep were pretty peaceful people, but they always be getting taken over. Instead, like the very last people that like migrated down there, they decided to like make a culture where they would wear the horns to protect. Like it signifies the males. That they would protect these people. But that's the idea that I had for that. Like seraphim, angels, they have bird-like wings, but why don't I make them more bird-like in general? So that's what this idea came from. And like all these halo effects, I got them from Star Ocean. Just looking around, just kind of remembering what was cool. That's what you have to do, and then you go back and go on the internet, look up what you need, to just get all those, save them, you know, take that design and like better it, make it better, make it look cooler, do anything. Another kind of sheeple thing is a sheeple hoodie. Got a little freaking, what do you call it, sticker. I don't know, whatever. But I like the little, the Egyptian style or the Native American style like neck thing. I don't have a thing with names right now, but I mean I know what I'm looking at. This is what I wanted. Like this goes all the way around the neck. It looks cool. It fills that empty space out. It adds so much more volume to this whole thing because this is actually quite plain, but it looks cool. You don't have to be extra detailed every time. You just have to have a good general idea that you want to go for. Something that looks cute, something that looks cool, whatever have you. Like this design. Oh, whoops! I got it off of a kids show actually. I was just in bed, just barely awake, and I saw this. And Chris, my best friend's little brother was watching it. I was like, oh man, that's actually a pretty cool design for a coat. So this is actually straight up biting off the coat. But I changed it. I turned this coat design into something like, well, the color was always cool, so I had to keep a record of that. But I mean, I couldn't find the show, so that's what I had to do to compensate. I had to actually color it down, and that actually spawned this idea. That little dragon boy was, here he goes right here. I just put the lines on it, made the suit white, and boom, now they have their own little comfortable little, it's like a comforter whole suit, except for it's not that thick. I mean, I didn't want it to be that thick, but I just had a whole, like the suit in itself is kind of plain, right? But I wanted to add variations. People are wearing different kinds of shoes, or none, but you got like different people. Like this idea didn't even happen. Like it happened. Like I came with the story after I did the design. Usually it's the other way around. But I mean, as a concept designer, that in general, that's what I do that. I just make up stuff. I was in basic training for military, and I decided I wanted to draw this on the slide. But like this design was based off of Star Ocean. It was like I had a great inspiration from one of the main bosses that you face in like the tower on Star Ocean 2. He has like a tuning fork, and I was like, man, maybe if I can make this design cooler, because I really like how this person was fighting me. So I just put this together. I wanted like his culture. I wanted him to be like from just a village, but I just added a whole bunch of crap. Like I always see people with, in games when they wear sashes, they're wearing like a sash or two. You got like a belt. Like I wanted to just throw sashes, just sashes on sashes on sashes, and here I go. I got the layers, and the best to explain that is to do it neatly. To express it is to put those in layers as you see before you, and that little sash at the bottom. It just perfectly fits. I mean, this came from years of just implying this same topic. I've always wanted to do this, but now I figured it out. You just sometimes you can't even get to see it online. You just have to make it up yourself. But it's inspired from other things, from real clothing, from real life, anything. Like this chick, like some Final Fantasy inspiration. Like I think it was Final Fantasy 9. It was that chick. I can't remember. She had like she had black hair. I think she had a white dress shirt. She was pretty cool looking. I was like, maybe if I could do something like in that era, like maybe I should just make up some designs in accordance, like I say, I'm gonna bring up Final Fantasy, or if I haven't already, because it's one of the main influences. Oh, can somebody say Terminator? Like that's just something that I liked. Terminator was threatening. Me, I'm not attracted to buff people, honestly. It's just I started so young at drawing that, I mean, you were like the man if you were if you knew how to draw a buff person in elementary school. Oh, you know how to draw a buff man? X-Men was out. Everything like related to strength was big. You got like Conan the Barbarian was getting replayed. You got all these. You got Terminator. You got X-Men. You got all this. Last Action Hero. You remember all these, right? But yeah, that's what it was like. I just needed. It stuck with me though. Seeing big characters was cool. It was always like that symbol of power, and it's different. Like for me, I like the smaller guys having power too. It's just something but I have to have these big people. It's just I have to have a good mix. I don't like to like bog myself down. But that's where this main thing comes from. But it comes from a lot of experience, though. I can just make stuff up now. Like I decided I could have the shoulders have these lines. These are like pores for steam. He gets so hot trying to fight, or something. Yeah, every once in a while his shoulders get a little bit big, and he just got to release the steam to keep himself from overheating. I would have put the lines down there, but I was like, nah. Instead, let me just see if I can make him more robotic. It was just like this cavity here. I didn't want him to be just buff because it was just like, well, he's gonna be more organic if I didn't add some element of, excuse me. So I took out his cavity, his stomach, and put him like a little glass or something, like a little reactor. So it's spinning inside this little gear. I didn't make any other gears. I'm sorry, but whatever. But it's just a cool little aesthetic design. It doesn't always have to make perfect sense. But you just gotta make something. You can make sense later. Just get the design down. So that's how I get my clothing designs. I look at all these things. I keep my visual memory. This is another old one, but like I have flexible armor. I don't even want to be. I don't want to give you this idea. Like this is something that I like. But it'll eventually become a trend even when I come out, if I come out with this. But these are legit characters. I am using this design, so yeah, I already have copywritten characters with this design, but like I wanted to show this in due time. I didn't want to show this right now, but I'm going to tell you anyway. These people have flexible metal, so like it is all one piece, but you can flex within it, like how boron I think it's boron, gallium, mercury, they're liquidy. You just have like a rubbery metal. How about something like that? Think extra deep. Like metal is hard, but when you think about liquid metal, it's like, oh, it blows your mind. Oh, Terminator, TX, T1000, they got this crazy look. These people have great ideas, and when they think about metal, oh, look at that liquid metal. Like, that's just gonna come up. That's natural. When you get technological like that, it just and very creative, you just don't want to leave nothing out. You want to consider everything and bring whole new elements into the whole story. Like this shirt. This shirt was inspired by architecture in general. Like, I don't know why I have to be inspired to put insane or a level of detail in engravings like this. But it's usually inspired by architectural pieces. Like I'll see something cool, and I can visualize somebody next to these pillars or something. But like these, I've always seen designs like these off wallpaper, so I decided I was gonna put it at, match with this and put it on the shirt and the pants and all that stuff. And these are just designs. Just jot these down. Like, if you can't draw them, jot them down. Flower theme, bloom. But there's people that have done it. I've seen this all over, or sometimes, around just art sites. These people give me ideas too. There's a whole lot of ideas going around and about. There's ropes, there's belts. Why not like giant shoelaces? There's nothing wrong with that, right? I thought about a guy with a bunch of swords. I was like, man, maybe I should do a whole bunch of books or something, like a whole bunch of weapons. That's cool. Maybe instead of those samurai sword, them katanas, or just how about like giant claymores or something, or a couple, like several claymores. Like a guy uses a bunch of claymores on one side. Like it'll be cool. It'll be just as cool, like maybe the guy has big hands. He grabs like 2 claymores in each hand, so he has 4 swords, but he's swinging at you with 2. They're all doing different, elemental damage or something. Like, make it crazy. Like, it can be like an ogre or something. He's smart. He doesn't, like, he beats up his people. He's so big, so they ain't gonna make armor for him. He has to raid and stuff by himself, and so he compensates by wrapping chains around himself. But that's kind of like basic. How about he put like soldiers that he's defeated? Like, he'd put chains of them on him, or even because they got armor on, or even better, maybe you got like you got like, because you hold your armor, not your armor, but your shield with your, the shield, you have a handle for your shield. Maybe he's wrapping those in between those handles, he's putting the chains around it, so he has the chains full of shields all over him. Like that's pretty cool if you ask me. I just, just come up with stuff like anything. Babylon, or the fight with Babylon. This guy's name is Babylon. This is one of what used to be my main OC. He's now like in reserve, but I was like, let me just make a big character. This is obviously reminiscent of Final Fantasy. I'm always using them to compete against. But they always give me ideas, so they're like they're blowing me out of the water all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm tired of that brute strength big. How about I draw like a buff magician? Like who has that? Usually there's some of them out there. Oh yeah, there's definitely some buff like you wouldn't even think. But I was like, this guy's gonna be like a magician. Like he doesn't even hit you. Like he usually has these two things in his hand, the anks, that he channels all of his magic with. And he's extra buff, but he's has an armor engraved into his own essence. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's like dragons. They got scales. That's their natural armor. How about having armor as being natural and engraved into their skin, or that's part of their skin? Excuse me. I didn't have an idea for a face, so I just made up something. That's like a gem. But I mean, I had. He looks kind of like a lion though. Maybe I could put like a crystallized lion face in it, but it's too late now. I'm just kind of like I kind of like just I grew up with this design. Here's that halo again with surrounded by the horns. I just couldn't get tired of that. But I altered it. It's just a bunch of things. It's just my visual library. I need to expand it, but at the same time, it could go together. It could be in one same story. I guess in the same category anyway. It's in my folder with all this anyway. So let me see what else I got. Vector. Alrighty. Like I got like 3 minutes left or something, but here it is. It's like I have this one guy. Like I decided, I got inspired from, you got Organization 13, but I was actually inspired by like CIA. Like I don't like these dudes, I don't like the cops too much, especially with my run-ins with them. And I don't even, I don't have a criminal record. I served my country. I did all kinds of things, it's just things could be better, but it still doesn't shut my inspiration off to them. Like I have this design basically because like there's an organization that I have that I wanted them to have that whole unified look. How the CIA has like everybody has their same suit, same everything, but they have that slight difference in personality. That's what makes Reno and Rude look pretty cool to me in my eyes. But I had all these people have their special abilities. Like this guy, he's cold. He looks cold. He's so cold that if you touch his chest, that you will get frostbite instantly. But that suit is what everybody's wearing. But this symbol is not. This is unique to him. You got a symbol for everybody else, and this is also unique to him. This mink coat. He's supposed to be real chill. He's really cool. But he's also really cold. Figuratively and literally. So there's this is this is his crew right here. Actually, this is actually him again, with his scar on his lip. This is still him. There's somebody else behind him. They're all wearing the suit, but they have slight variations of this suit, and it's different symbols. Everybody has different powers. I don't want to be cliche, but I just wanted to have, like, I've always had this guy. Like most of these designs I had since before high school. Like these are the oldest characters that I have, except for this guy. He's fairly new. This guy's second most recent, I guess. These three are like the oldest people that I have ever. Main antagonists, angry dudes, whatever. Mad chick. You got the main boss with his third eyes. You can see right there. Wanted him to be extra angry, when he I don't want to say power up. This ain't no Dragon Ball Z thing, but yeah, just designs. You just keep jotting them out down like this. Like, I got to the level where I can just make shapes and I'm like, man, people are doing their thing. Why don't I do my thing? I made a skeleton, a Neo skeleton, just like a design, just kept on doing it. Oh, looks like I ran over my limit, But that's what you have to do. This is like Crytek, like a little. You just keep on looking around. Look at your games. Look at everything. That's all I have to really say. Is just keep it in your mindset. Get your virtual library. Get your on your computer. Get your visual memory up. Do all it takes to just get yourself drawn all the time on little pieces, on just paper. Mass draw it. Do whatever it takes. That's all it takes to concept. Is just keep your mind open, get different references from everywhere. If you like planes, look at planes. If you like vehicles, combine it all with different elements of every kind of transportation, like cars. You confuse it all. Do everything, everything, everything. But I mean, that's all I have. That's all I wanted to tell you. And I'm glad that thank you for listening. Alrighty, goodbye.